What's up, everybody? We are officially done with the Atlantic and Coastal Divisions. Clemson is once again your conference champions. We talk about the game between them and North Carolina. What's it mean for the state of play as DJU might be hitting the transfer portal for North Carolina? How do you pick up a face and go play in their bowl game and all the things? And why preparation is extremely key, even if it's for a backup quarterback. Let's talk about it on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Locked On Wolfpack host Kenton Gibbs. And each and every day, we try and give you the best content possible around the ACC and NC State and all the fun things. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels as well as listen to our podcast from anywhere you listen to podcasts. Kenton, how are you feeling on this happily December 5th Monday?
I'm great as always. It's a good time. The college football playoff has been announced. You know, it's sad that the ACC got left out, but I get it. I understand it. You know, it's a tough time, but you know, it's one of those days where I got to watch a lot of good football this weekend. There were tons of great games in these here conference championships. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this week. I'm excited to attack the week.
And, you know, a lot of the conference championship games were shooken up a bit, right? You saw Utah beat USC. You saw TCU fall to Kansas State. And you're sitting there telling yourself, all right, maybe there could be a little underdog actions inspiring here, but not so much for the ACC. Clemson took care of business, beating North Carolina 39-10. And there was just so many things that we could just dump on UNC all day. But let's start with Clemson, right? Let's start with the good. We don't even have to do good, bad, and ugly show today. We can do an overview. All of us just put it all out on the table. Cool. So DJU starts the game 2 series in. He is done for the night. And I'm not even joking you. I was in Charlotte, saw with my own 2 eyes. First series, 3 and out. Second series, 3 and out. He went out of the game. He finished it with only 10 yards, 2 for 5 on the evening, and that was all they needed to see. They saw what they needed to see, and they were done. I was shocked at how quickly DJ was taken out of the game. It maybe was 9 minutes into the first quarter.
You know, I'm going to say this. I wasn't shocked by how quickly he was taken out. What I was shocked by was that the play calling improved immediately upon him being taken.
Hello, let's talk about it.
Like that little throwback play that they had for Cade, I'm like, nah, hold on now. Unless DJ has just got the hands of stone that we ain't never seen before. Like we all know that there are plays that you call sometimes to get a quarterback confident and in rhythm. You have those moments where you allow quarterbacks to get confident in rhythm. Don't get me wrong. DJ skipping the ball to a receiver on a very easy read. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for taking him out. I'm not mad at you at all for saying, hey, this is, you know, we put
but
in
after 2 series.
I'm not mad at
one bad pass.
It's a conference championship game. I'm not
one
mad
bad pass.
But here's the thing. It's not the one bad pass. Let me tell you this. Sometimes in a relationship, when things go wrong, right? If you've been telling your partner, hey, please do not do this thing for years, right? If you've been saying, hey, please don't leave all the lights on in the house when we go to bed for years, right? Or for a very long sample size. And then one day they leave the lights on again. And then you just like, all right, enough. I'm out. I ain't coming back. That's what this was. He left the lights on, and Shorty said the bill is too high, the electric bill too high, and he kept leaving the light on.
Look, okay, I hear you. Now, in that same vein, in that same analogy, if you allow them to keep the lights on, you don't say anything. But not only do you say you do say something. You say, you know what? We're going to make it shake. You tell everybody when you complain about it, at the end of the day, I'm going to stick beside it. I'm going to hold it down. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm by their side through and through as they keep these lights on. That was Dabo Swinney to me. Every opportunity he had to put Cade in that game throughout the season, he didn't do it. He said, DJ's our guy. DJ's our guy. Yeah, he pulled him out a couple games and Cade had to finish in all the things and he got, whatever. But you could have easily said, you know what? I love DJ. We're moving forward. We feel like we have a better person in this spot. It is what it freaking is, especially in the day and age where this transfer portal is pickety popping. He could have put his name out there, did what he had to do. I understand he loves Clemson. I understand he is a team player, all of the things. However, as we are growing to know more and more every passing day, this is a business.
Absolutely. And that's my point. Is that at the end of the day, even beyond the relationship analogy and all that, we go to a business analogy. At the end of the day, this is the guy who put you in the best situation for your business. That's what Dabo Swinney looked.
But he could have been done that. That's the thing. Like, you could have been in better position. You could have been given opportunities to give Cade more reps to allow for him to put you in a better situation. So we could be talking about the ACC being in the college football playoffs instead of seeing 2 Big Ten teams there. I'm just saying.
And let me say this. At the end of the day, he could have started Cade earlier. But remember what happened last time he put Cade in the game at Notre Dame? He threw a pick. Even in this game.
But to me, like you say all the time, you had 2 quarterbacks, you got none. Either you stick beside it and you just work through the growing pains, or you say, you know what, I'm going to pickpocket. Every time you do bad, you got to sit down. That's terrible. That's terrible leadership to me.
They wanted to stick with DJ. They wanted to stick beside him. Listen.
But that's terrible that you didn't say, you know what, as much as I want to stick beside you, I want to win ultimately.
I'm going to tell you this, okay? I done been Danny the dummy for somebody in a relationship before. I done been that guy that, you say, hey, I'm going to stick beside, whatever they do, I'm going to stick beside, and they just keep getting progressively worse and worse. And then they had that one moment where I said I was going to stick beside. I can't stick beside this no more. I can't do this no more. I don't care how bad the dating pool is. I can't do it no more. That's what happened here.
No, that's not what happened here. In my opinion, Dabo needs to eat his freaking crow and sit there and say, I made a mistake. I should have put Cade in sooner, period. Like, you don't give a man 2 drives and say, you know what, actually, never mind. Nah, and the playbook opened up like that. Magically, he just found. Come on, Kenton, come on now.
Here's my only thing. Here's my only spot where I can say, and you making me defend Dabo Swinney. I hate this for me. Here's the only spot where you have to give Dabo some grace. This team is 11-2. Like, regardless of what we look at as, well, the playoff is your expectation. The playoff is your floor. It's not your floor because they didn't go to the playoff last year, number one. Number two, they're still 11-2 conference champs, New Year's Six bowl. So we can say, hey, Dabo, why didn't you go to him earlier? But he can point to this and say, hey, whoever you are, why are you questioning so deeply an 11-2 team? Now, is it possible?
Okay, everything is glossed over because of winning is what we all, come to.
Absolutely.
And that's fine. But at the same time.
The good book says love covers over a multitude of sins. Well, there was not football when the good book was out. Winning covers over a multitude of sins as well. Winning covers over many a terrible thing. You
can win and still say this is not your guy. You can win and still say this is not your guy. He got pulled when they had to win games. Syracuse game, perfect example.
And that's my point exactly. Even when DJ got pulled, or whether he got pulled, didn't get pulled, played poorly, played well, whatever the case may be, they still found a way. Eric Bieniemy time, y'all. It's not about the numbers. It's about the alphabets. And the only alphabets that matter are W or L.
I hear what you're saying. Yes, they won, but at the same time, if you got benched, why not say we're open to looking and exploring at other options? You doubled down and said DJ's the guy. So
that's coach speak. That's just like what Deion Sanders did at Jackson
It's not
State.
just coach speak. It freaking happened. It consistently happened where you stuck beside him.
But this is what I'm saying. Okay, so wait. Okay, so maybe I'm missing it. Your problem here is that Dabo Swinney stuck with DJ when Cade was better. That's
My problem is don't sit there and double down on why you're sticking with DJ and how much he's improved and how this is your QB1 and you love him, you love him, you love him. And then after 2 series, be like, actually, never mind, I changed my mind. Don't preach to me that DJ is your guy and then insultingly give this boy throw passes where you should have just kept feeding Will Shipley. And magically enough, you have all these damn trickery do plays for Cade. Like, to me, that was low-key blatant, and I'm not gonna say sabotage, but I'm not gonna say it.
Listen, again, I agree that play should have been called while DJ was in the game because he's an athlete too. He's a
beyond that play. I think the way they opened that playbook as opposed to what DJ was doing, night and day.
But if you look at the ability to push the ball downfield and even make the simple passes, there's an argument for that deep shot to 22 down the sideline that was placed perfectly where he went down at the 1.
So DJ's never done that? DJ's never done that?
Do you believe that DJ makes that throw? What is your confidence that DJ makes that throw?
85%. But I'm trying to tell you, either you stick beside your QB1 and you live and breathe with all his good and bad. People make mistakes. Bryce Young makes mistakes. CJ Stroud makes mistakes. Like, what are we doing here? You either stick beside a quarterback, good, bad, and indifferent, or you stick beside your QB2 and you say, you know what, I feel like you need a number 1 spot, and that's what it is. Let's give you the reps. Let's get through the growing pains. Be consistent. Just stand on it. Stand up. Pick a spot and stand on it. That's all I ask of Mr. Dabo Swinney.
Listen, Dabo absolutely could have handled this better, but again, he gave coach speak, which is what he's gonna do. Which is, again, like I said, Deion said, "Oh, well, who ain't swag if I ain't swag?" You were leaving the swag. You leaving. You're leaving it. You're leaving it 2 years. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean,
it was 3, but okay.
But you get what I'm saying? It's coach speak. It's coach talk. That's always gonna happen.
The holidays are here, achieving gifting greatness when you give the gift of perfectly aged, tender, and delicious Omaha Steaks. The steak experts at Omaha Steaks have put together special curated gift packages to help take the guesswork out of gifting and make you a holiday hero. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout to get $30 off your order. Sit an assortment of mouthwatering favorites guaranteed to impress, like the legendary Butcher's Cut Filet Mignon, air-chilled boneless chicken, ultra juicy burgers, and even easy to prep comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away, so shop early and beat the shipping rush. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. Omaha Steaks is the gift from the heart, a gift that will be remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence today, knowing that you're ordering the very best. Visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout to get an extra $30 off your order. Minimum order may be required. All right, we're rocking and rolling with Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. We're talking through what is to be a really, really good championship conversation, because as much as we want to dump on Clemson, they figured out how to win. 279 yards from Cade Klubnik. You got Will Shipley moving the ball well, but the player of the game to me was Nathaniel Wiggins. The dude did everything he could to embarrass UNC through and through. Blocked field goal attempts, ran a 98-yard, pass back, interception back, for a touchdown. Just did all the things, all the defensive stops, and really, what a time for the boys in, like you say, baby blue. Let's talk about it. North Carolina, a team that is 9-0 when playing against starting quarterbacks, a team that is 0-4 when playing against backups. Now you sit to yourself and say, Candace, that's crazy. How does that even happen, right? And I'm sitting here telling you, if there's anyone to point your head at and be upset at, it's damn sure not the players, and it is 100% on that coaching staff. 100%. I don't care if you miss a tackle. I don't care. I'm so upset at UNC coaching staff. I don't even know how to say it nicely.
I'm gonna say this: the only aberration out of those 4 games that we look at in terms of the teams that they played and the defenses that they saw with those backup quarterbacks is Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, NC State, Clemson, all legit defenses, all legitimate.
Legit defense ain't got nothing to do with the defensive side of Carolina's football
No,
program.
no, no. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You said that they went. You said
Okay.
that they went 0-4 against backup quarterbacks, and I believe I'm a firm believer that wins are not a QB stat. That people give QBs wins. Quarterbacks have a lot to do with wins more often than not. But to me, there's you got to give credit to the other guys. But I'm gonna tell you this: the failure to prepare for backups, especially in some of these games where you look up
where that there's going to be a backup,
and that's the thing. You have seen multiple times this year, and like you just said, Dabo Swinney, he'll play that yo-yo game of I don't know which quarterback I want. I don't know which quarter. Am I going DJ? No, I'm going Cade. No, I'm going DJ. No, I'm going Cade. You knew that there was a chance that DJ was going to get. That Cade was going to get in that game.
Oh, no. According to Mack Brown, we haven't really seen him all year, so we didn't really have much film on him, and, we didn't really prepare for him at all. We knew that DJ was going to be the guy.
But can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
What did Cade bring that you are not expecting from DJ or even an average quarterback in the ACC?
Hello.
What did Cade do that was that crazy that you were like, hey, yo, he's acting unruly. He's like,
sure, you didn't have Tony Graham. Sure, you didn't have my guy Storm Duck. Sure, you didn't have Cam Kelly. I don't care.
I don't want to hear it. This is a Clemson team. This is a Clemson team that struggled to move the ball through the air all year, and then their leading receiver, Bo Collins, went down before this game, out for the season. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it about injuries. Everybody's injured at this time of the season. Everybody's banged up. Everybody's hurting. So I don't want to hear it. The reality is you have got to figure it out. You have got to find a way. And again, we didn't prepare for the backup. That's nasty work.
Keep that in your drafts. Why are you even telling people that?
I can understand if he was talking about NC State a little bit, maybe a little bit, because Jack Chambers to Ben Finley is night and day. Those are two extremely different quarterbacks, not even in the same realm of who they are. Sure. But DJ to Cade, last time I checked, Cade was the number one dual threat quarterback in his class.
I'm pretty sure they got high school film on him, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, like you said, fundamentals is quarterback is a quarterback. It's quarterback. It's quarterback.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you don't 9 times out of 10, unless a quarterback does something extremely abnormal and uncanny for a quarterback. Again, if you're talking about a Lamar Jackson at quarterback, he does things in the open field that are uncanny. You need to know, okay, these are his go-to moves depending on where a defender is. That's good to know, sure. But the reality is, for the most part, if you want to stop a quarterback, you find out which plays that he likes a lot. You find out which reads he's super comfortable making and what they go to multiple times. But even with that, what is the difference? You have to play your keys. Your guys have to defend the routes. They have to defend the concepts that are being used to attack them, and you've got to execute. That's all there is.
To me, bottom line, let's keep it frank. I'm not going to call for nobody's job or nothing like that. When you do your whole background self-assessments of your coaching evaluations, the people that can't do the X's and O's like they should need to just go ahead and bow their way. I think that it's time we call some people to the carpet, people who've been there a little bit, people who've come back, people trying to revive the program, be the Carolina family ball. That's all well and good. You've now put the program in a position where you want to be more notable. You want to be on a national stage and have that platform and be, I guess, the Texas that you used to know. Whatever you want to be. You're not going to do it with this staff. Say all that to say. And I'm going to leave it right there and moving on. My only bright spot for the game would have been Elijah Green, who literally single-handedly said, all right, I'm going to show that we have a little bit of run game in this bad boy. So he was, to me, a bright spot for what a future to see for UNC's offense. Now, Drake Maye, I wanted you to go to New York, my guy. I thought you had a very pretty good season, but that was probably the most head game to me that I've seen of him all season. Like, you have what it takes to be a stellar quarterback. You are a stellar quarterback, but the interception in the end zone, just doing too much. I was talking to some friends, and honestly, it felt like Sam, where you're just trying to put the team on your back instead of living for another play, instead of being like, you know what, it's just not there. It is what it is. But you're going to go against good defenses next season. And guess what? You're going to go against good Atlantic teams next season. My boy, we're going to have to figure this one out, and quickly.
You know, I thought that when you said that you wanted Drake to go to New York, I thought that you were saying that because UNC had potentially gotten into the new era Pinstripe Bowl. They did not. They're going to the San Diego
Holiday Bowl.
The Holiday Bowl. Oh, what a great time. That one got canceled on NC State last year. Good for them.
And then NC State's going to Duke Mayo's Bowl, which is ironic because that's what UNC went
That's
to.
what man. A
little
switch around. But no, very seriously, this is a situation where, you know, the good that I saw out of this Carolina team is they never stopped fighting.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the game, they were still battling, still giving it all they had. And again, they were outclassed, they were outmatched. But I think that this game was a very clear statement, not just by Clemson, but this was a very clear statement that, hey, again, shout out to UNC for, never quitting. But this was a very clear, like, the Atlantic and the Coastal are not just two different divisions. They felt like two different conferences last night.
1,000%. 1,000%. I mean, Jacoby Criswell, who is also transferring from UNC, to me, even when he went in, I was like, what are we doing here, guys? I think we're playing like Pop Warner at this point. To have Dabo Swinney do a go 2-point conversion when you're up 20 is just like, all right, now you're playing with my food and I'm over it. And to do it just so you can have your kid, like, I wanted nothing more as we transition. The game is what it is. Talking about just overall landscape of the ACC. I wanted nothing more than it to not be Clemson. I'm sick of Clemson. I'll say it here first. I don't care. My Tiger fans who listen to this show faithfully, I'm so sorry. I'm over it. I do not like Dabo. I do not like having to be like, oh yeah, Clemson holding it down for the ACC. Over it. I wanted NC State so bad. Y'all pissed me off. I wanted it so bad for y'all.
I mean, there is something that has happened here. There is something that has happened in this here city of Raleigh. There is something that needs to be investigated. Let's get the Hardy Boys. Let's get Shaggy and Scooby in again, because this was one of the most odd years that I've ever seen. I mean, if you really, really look at it, because even if, so many NC State fans are very excited that divisions are going away, which that absolutely is going to be a positive for NC State. When you look at the landscape of, like, you're in the same division as Clemson and FSU. Have fun with that.
Sure.
But the reality is, even this year, they would not have been the second team in based on the records. That's just the reality. Even if you say, well, North Carolina loses games and they're not there, that's not what happened. Even if you say that, Florida State would have been the next 10. So, there is something going on here that this defense was a playoff defense. We have the ACC preseason player of the year, and he gets hurt. And then his backup gets hurt. And then the other backup, or he gets hurt. The second string guy can't throw the ball. The third string guy comes in, does amazing things. Then he gets hurt. And then, again, you got to go back to the guy who can't throw the ball. And then you got to go to the fourth stringer who was on scout team 2 weeks ago.
But if anything, you should be rejoicing doing cartwheels because your boy Tim Beck is going to Coastal Carolina to be the new head coach. So I don't know whether it was a, hey, my boy, I don't want to have to fire you, but if you have some other options, I think you should explore them. And I think that's pretty much how that went, personally.
Because listen, honestly and truly, I'm excited that Tim Beck is leaving because I serve an awesome God. He didn't have to do it, but I'm so glad that he did. But anywho, the reality is this: the fact of the matter is this was supposed to be the year by all accounts.
By all accounts,
and the things were ripe for the picking. Clemson again, DJ Cade, DJ. We've seen it. We've seen it play out in real time. We've seen the struggles. We've seen the things in real time. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on or what's happening, but. For this team to have the injuries at the quarterback position that they did, for this team to have an injury at the center position when they did, and Grant Gibson, and all first team All ACC guy and all that good stuff. Like, and then for the offensive line to fall apart after that against Louisville, it's infuriating, but it's NC State sports.
Listen. At the end of the day, they're not even the one team that you want to have your head scratched the most about, because Miami, my boy, we were supposed to have you in the conversation where we didn't even have to watch North Carolina and play so badly in the ACC Championship game because y'all brought all these coaches. Y'all got all these recruits coming in. You've got guys who are still there who could be developed into being great. And yet, I'd argue you guys are just about as disappointing as NC State, if not more.
Yeah, that's...
Because y'all weren't even in the conversation. I saw some Pitt players tweeting like, we should be at the game. My boy, I'm going to need you to sit down.
You should be where?
I'm going to need you to sit down.
My brother in Christ, you are right where you need to be. You are right where you deserve to be. You are right where you deserve to be. You are where you deserve to be.
Do you know who your quarterback was all season? Because we could don't play with me now.
Now, listen, the Coastal ain't been good, but y'all wasn't. You were part of the Coastal. You had a team. You had a shot.
Confused. Last time I checked, Pitt absolutely had an opportunity to be, but y'all mans couldn't throw the ball from here to the West Coast. So I just and they should have been there. They lost to UNC by 18 points. What do you mean? Somebody. Like, what are we talking about?
You shouldn't have been there at all.
Free my dog Izzy. Anyway, I will also say the team that was most surprising, it ends up probably being arguably, if we had to play it again, best team in the ACC is Florida State. Okay. All right. Listen, if they play Clemson tomorrow, I think that they would have a shot. I think they would beat them hand over fist.
Yeah, sure.
You don't? For real.
No.
Why is that? Let
me tell you why. This Florida State team, for all the things that they are or not, this Florida State team has greatly down the stretch benefited from other teams, other players being hurt and all that good stuff in ways that they weren't. And don't get me wrong, yes, they figured it out. They played good football. They did all the things. But to me, to say, hey, they'd be the best team in the ACC, they finished strong. But again, let's give full context to their strong finish, shall we? A Georgia Tech team that was replacing quarterback and head coach. A Miami team that is – we always, and you know what? I feel bad for saying this because we always pile on Miami. We keep having to say this about Miami. This is the worst Miami team I've seen, I think, ever in my lifetime. I was born in 95. I think this is the worst Miami team I have ever seen, any of that stuff.
I was born in 95 too, and I said the same thing.
Syracuse, a Syracuse team that, again, they won 6 straight and then lost 5 straight. And you caught them in that run of losing 5 straight. Okay.
So basically, are you trying to say Florida State look funny in the light? But go ahead, keep going.
Louisiana, you're supposed to be the team out of the Sun Belt. Okay. And Florida, that's a quality win. I'll give quality win. Okay. Florida's a quality win. Okay. Even though that team is a 6-win team in the SEC, I'll give it to you. That's a quality win.
Okay, quality win. And yet, you still don't think they're the better team right now. Clemson by far.
I don't think Clemson by far, but I think Clemson's better than them. Yeah. Again, they are a team that they had their struggles with health. Their offensive line was decimated with health too. So I'm not saying that this is a team that they hadn't had their reasons and all of their wins are illegitimate. I'm not saying that their wins are illegitimate. You play who's in front of you, and they dominated who was in front of them. Sure. What I am saying is, let's not go to shooting off the hip now.
I don't know. And y'all, you know how I feel about Florida State, but I have to give it to them. Something about it says if I were to see Clemson and Florida State in the championship right now, with how this team has been able to finish the season strong, I don't know that Clemson stands a chance with Cade. With Cade starting the whole game.
If ifs and buts were berries and nuts, squirrels would never stop.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry to tell you. We can talk this hypothetical. If Devin Leary doesn't get hurt, does NC State end up there? You don't know.
We can go down the rabbit holes, but say all that to say the ACC regular season is done.
If Tim Beck got himself the offer from Coastal last year,
is championship is done.
NC State in the championship instead of Clemson? Who knows? We can't have those discussions because in reality, if Fuentes had gone with Hendon Hooker and said, "This is our guy," if Fuentes sticks with Hendon Hooker and says, "I love this man. This is gonna be my quarterback." Period. Ain't no Braxton Burmeister. Ain't nobody else.
Ain't
this
that
is
crazy?
Think about how different.
We can play Marvel. Call us if you want to have a what if show. We could do what if ACC all day.
Think about how different the Coastal would have been this year with Hendon Hooker.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Carolina would not have been in nobody's Coastal Division champion. Nothing, and we're good. Glad all this is over.
Not only that, does Drake Maye win Player of the Year? Does he win? I think he still wins Rookie of the Year. No. I don't know if he wins Offensive Player of the Year and all that Player of the Year.
If Hendon Hooker is playing and having the season that he had, but that's why we all just made these predictions and dream, because ultimately we got to do what's in front of us, and Clemson is the champions. We'll talk about all of the amazing opportunities that a lot of these players have in these bowl games, who's going to opt out, who's going to play, all the fun stuff that comes with all of that. We'll talk about basketball throughout the week, and Lord knows, North Carolina is only the sixth team in history to go from number 1 to add top 25. In a matter of a blink. So it's just a great time. But hey, my girls are holding it down. The women are doing all right. Soccer's doing great. You know, we got to have some positives now. Field hockey was national champion.
Y'all field hockey.
You know it's bad.
Field hockey school, baby.
Period. University of National Champions for our Olympic sports. Got it. For Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs, I hope you guys have a great start to your week. Until next time.